Guys, men used to have to work so hard to see boobs, and you're showing them on TikTok for free, upside down, pretending that you're getting your eaten out or something. Guys.
I have to quit the internet. I really do. Sorry, we all have to pretend that we like coffee dates now, or we get read to absolute fucking filth. You want me to go to coffee with you? We're not in a fucking Bible study. Like, the last person I got coffee with who I was not like working with was a girl who my boyfriend was cheating on me with. That's what coffee is for. Sorry, you're asking me a coffee before you ask me to marry you? It's not happening. Would she expect a nice dinner? Yeah. What if she did? Get your money up, not your funny up. It is not her fault that you were an insecure loser. Also, dates don't have to be expensive to be fun. The best first date I've ever been on was a picnic where we were watching the skateboarders in Venice. It was just a blanket and a bottle of wine. We had such a great time. We ended up going out with both of our friend groups later that night. And by the end of the night, we were so faded and so in love. We went skinny dipping in the ocean at 2 a.m. I'm sorry you're boring. Don't blame the economy. Figure it out and leave that girl alone.
Sometimes I actually think that I'm being punked in like the dating world right now. The last 3 dates, the last 3 men, 3 separate men in like, I would say 2-month period have planned dates with me times and had to cancel, had to rain check. And I still like, the rain check is not checking. I haven't heard from them. They've all ghosted me. And I'm just like, I am being punked. Like or something really good is about to happen to me because like I'm about to meet the love of my life. Because
you're a hot girl and you date an ugly man, you're anti-woman.
Oh, goody, goody. Let's hear this one.
What you don't realize is you are raising the stock of that man because he was with you.
Oh, this is going to be good.
And inevitably you're going to break up because men will men. Then he's going to be on the market. He's going to post pictures of you on his dating app so people are like, damn, that's his ex. She's so pretty. He must have really beautiful insides and be a wonderful person to get such a baddie.
It's just incomprehensible to some of the more shallow-minded individuals that some people actually date others for who they are on the inside versus what they are on the outside.
You know what? It's not true because I think we've seen all these dudes are the same.
How exactly did one come to that conclusion?
These movies lied. Beauty and the Beast lied. Gaston and the Beast, both very questionable choices, okay? Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think we saw. He just wanted to bang Esmeralda.
Ah, I see. They're basing their adult dating choices off of movies they saw as a kid. That explains a lot.
I am begging all you hot girls, please stop dating ugly men. They do not deserve you.
You know, there's a lot of really great guys out there that don't deserve to be treated like this.
These guys have inflated egos because of all of you hotties raising their stock when they don't deserve it. Are you investing in worthless securities? Diversify your portfolio. Get a baddie guy. Stop believing what they say. Nice guys finish last. No, because they're not nice.
Ah, and so speaks the voice of experience. But as we have just seen, it is often those people that look attractive on the outside, which can be the most unappealing on the inside.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, welcome back to things you should never tell a man before he's actually your man. I know this one's very controversial, but do not tell a man that you are happy to go 50-50. Just don't. For the love of God. Personally, I feel like at least with the goddamn dates, he can cover those. The bar is literally on the floor. Most men won't even pay for a goddamn coffee date. So don't say I'm going to pay 50-50. I'm happy to do that. No, let him show initiative. And if you say that, he's straight away going to feel like he's doing charity work just by goddamn existing. No. Number 2, never ever say, it's okay, I understand that you're just busy. Let's get one thing fucking straight. If a man likes you, if he deserves a place in your life, he will be talking to you. He'll be communicating with you. He'll be making an effort to see you. If he's not, if he goes a day without messaging you once, bitch be so for real. He's either seeing other women or he could not give less of a fuck about you. So never say that that's okay. Never be like, oh no, I understand. No! Number 3, never say, it's okay, I'm in no rush. If you happen to find an avoidant man with commitment issues that tells you he just wants to go with the flow, he just wants to see where things go. What are you, a fucking fish? Are you a fish? Fish lip bitch. No, we're not going with the flow. We're not happy to take our time. We're in a rush, okay? Because if you say that, you are going to be waiting for a ring for 20 years. It's never going to happen. You're going to be catching him on Tinder. He's going to be playing around behind your back. You need to make it very, very clear what you want, and you need to give a goddamn time frame, because if you don't and you make it seem like you're okay with going with the flow, you're going to be going with the flow until you're in the South Pacific Ocean.
All these women have unrealistic standards. What they all have in common is that men are losing interest in them. Look at this girl demanding that the guy plan something elaborate for a first date. Lady, the first date isn't about impressing you. It's about seeing if there's chemistry. Then, if things go well, you put in more effort on the second date. The woman complaining that she only gets matched with unattractive men. Let me tell you something. Dating app algorithms, just like your own choices, match you with the kind of person you can actually get. If in your life you've only been with low self-esteem, unattractive guys who end up leaving you, here's the truth. That's your taste. And the app is just matching you with your male equivalent, nothing more. The problem is that women don't understand how men think. I don't support the whole 50-50 thing, but men go for that when they're not really interested. The one good thing about all of this is that if a guy's not calling you, it's because he's not into you. If he were interested, he'd reach out. Like that woman who went through the same thing with 3 different guys. That clearly shows a pattern. You're the problem, sweetheart. And you're hitting the wall. The wall doesn't forgive.
Men can actually do no right these days, and I actually feel sorry for them. I'm talking about the dating sites. I don't even know why I bother going on them. And I know I've got some audacity saying all of this when I look like this right now, but I full on just didn't match with someone because his prompts were just too long, and no. Certain jobs, I'll literally just swipe because I'm like, well, that doesn't sound very exciting, does it? Coming from the unemployed person. When they message you and it's just like, hi, how are you? No, boring. They've got a picture of them in skinny jeans. Could be the love of my life, but no, I don't know what it is. I'm not finding anyone attractive. Unless, like, I'm on the dance floor having, like, a little dance, having a little vibe with someone. Like, these dating sites, nah.
Not to be dramatic, but I'm quitting Hinge. I've not even been on a date, and I can't be asked anymore. I've been on Hinge like 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. I was meant to go on a date tonight, and this morning my friend messages me like, who are you going on a date with? Send me a picture. And I send her a picture. No joke. She calls me within 2 seconds and is like, no. She had dated this guy. They'd been on multiple dates. He was an absolute gentleman, beautiful, stunning, lovely person. Was holding her hands on dates, buying her 2 bouquets of flowers, and picking her up, taking her out on lovely dates. And then it starts going a bit weird, and he said he was narcissistic, and she didn't realize what he was going on about. I hope I'm retelling that right. And they kind of have a bit of a fallout about something that is quite, I think, I don't know, I think I'm not going to talk about it. That thing was here, but he was fairly religious. So he has some views, and they disagreed on those views. And I disagree with him on those views too. So I'm not going to pursue it. But she had to delete him on WhatsApp because it was too intense. And I'm just like, God, I really can't even leave my house. I can't even come on a date. And I had a few weird signs of him. Like on Monday, he just tried to call me out of the blue, which I thought was a bit odd, seeing as we hadn't really chatted that much. Additionally, I was in London yesterday, and he was like, so I guess tomorrow's not happening. I live in Nottingham. And I was like, why? Why would that not be happening? And he was like, I assume you're staying over. No, the train to Nottingham, and London is like an hour and a half. That's easy peasy. I'm in and out, baby. But it just gets me thinking, I've been on it for 2 weeks. I'm tired already. How are you girls doing it? Do I give up? Do I continue? It's bleak out here. People weren't lying.
No one watches you more than the guy that you dated for 2-3 months that like kind of ghosted you, but then you like saw him again after a bit and then, ghosted you again and it didn't work. And then he gets married. No one watches you harder than that guy, I'm telling you.
What I wonder is, what kind of men are these women getting involved with? They complain about the guys the dating algorithm matches them with, say they're ugly, have no conversation skills, are too intense or hot and cold, or that they ghost them. There's always something. But listen, the algorithm shows you your interests, your preferences, and matches you with people who share your qualities. It doesn't make mistakes. It's a machine. If it's showing you unattractive men, it's because that's what you qualify for. That's what your money gets you, because the algorithm favors attractive men and women. Otherwise, why do you think only the top 20% of men are the ones who actually clean up on those apps? So look at it this way. The algorithm is the store, and your beauty is your money. What it's offering you is simply what your money can buy. But let's check out some interesting comments. Real men do not go on dating sites because we have more self-worth now. Number 2 is 100% correct. If we like you, we will respond within 5 minutes. Our phone is in our hand or pocket. Am I the only one that wouldn't look at my partner's phone no matter if it was really popping when he's out of the room? I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd be too busy going about my own business. And yeah, a girlfriend doesn't make the family chat. Whatever other people think of you is not your business. He took me for dinner, but only offered to pay for me if I went home with him. Broken heart. 50 is the best in the beginning of the relationship. We don't know each other that much. Why should the man pay for coffee or other things? 100% men should pay. And no better feeling than spoiling your girl. I agree. In the early stages of dating, a man will pay for dates because he wants to. But the offer to contribute from her is a real turn on. As for 2 and 3, they are both accurate, but also a two-way street. Just too many options now with dating apps, unfortunately. I haven't dated in 20 years, but I always assumed a coffee date as a first meeting was so the level of investment was low. In case either one of you spotted red flags right away and needed to exit quickly and cleanly. I don't know you. Why would I feed you? You get coffee first to see if I can even stand your attitude. Second date, you get a meal, if I like you. I'm sorry you're an entitled bitch, but you have to prove you're worth my time and money. I didn't get rich by spending money on strangers. Women want the bears, and we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. All right then, let's get back to the video.
The day I discovered that my ex-boyfriend had a family group chat without me. So compared to many nowadays, I thought my relationship was pretty healthy. Me and my boyfriend had no issues. We were pretty calm, just pretty normal standard partnership. We didn't really argue. We had bickers over who would put what on TV. Until one morning I was making him breakfast and he left his phone in the kitchen with me to go and have a shower, which was not out of the ordinary. He was pretty open with his phone, another green flag in my opinion. So I saw a text message come up and of course I wanted to look and see what it said. And there was a chat that came up on WhatsApp that said the main 4. So I thought it must be one of these boys group chats. It must be one of these, I don't know, football group chats or something. I put the phone down and I didn't really think much more of it until I saw another message pop up and I thought, this is really popping for a Sunday morning. So I looked again and the next message said, make sure she doesn't see this. So I thought, well, the only she in his life is I. So of course, curiosity killed the cat. I looked. So little did I know, this was not a football group chat that all of his mates were cutely chatting in. Strange. So I opened the chat thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe this is a surprise for me. Don't tell her. I've always got on with his family fine. So I never thought there would be anything like this. I click onto the chat to find out it is basically a slander group for me. There was messages saying, don't let her move in, don't give her the key, she's too emotional, she's going to wreck your friendship, she's going to do this, she's going to do that. I'm just over here existing. The main points that I grasped from this group chat were, his mum thinks I cry too much, his sister thinks I'm too emotional, and his dad thinks that I'm going to become overweight. And then we got to the worst part. So I scrolled up a bit. I was kind of waiting for my boyfriend to come out of the shower so I could go, what is wrong with your family? Why have they done this? I wasn't particularly annoyed at him because there wasn't much of him there, until I scrolled up enough to find my boyfriend had sent a picture of me asleep on the sofa saying, she's snoring again, I might run away. Best believe this man is lucky that he is here to see another day. So, of course, I confronted him as soon as he got out the shower, and his excuse was it was all a joke and that nothing had come, was going to come from it. It was just a complete joke and there's nothing else about me in the group chat. It was just that little section as a joke. So I said the only way that I will forgive him for this group chat is if he lets me sit here and open it all. Because if that's the only part about me, why would that be an issue? So reluctantly, he let me. And what can you guess? This group chat had been going on for 8 months. 8 months. And the whole group chat was about me. So that is how me and my ex broke up. And yeah, I'm scarred from WhatsApp. I'll never use it again. iMessage is the way to go.
Even if this guy's whole family might have had a point, the one who hit the nail on the head was the dad. She's going to gain weight. Brothers, always listen to the voice of experience. Now, creating a group chat just to criticize your woman is pretty low. And if everyone has an opinion, good or bad, but they don't share it with you privately and instead talk about it among themselves, that only leads to more agreement, disagreement, and hurtful judgment. Personally, as a man, I don't go around airing out my relationship or talking about my partner. I think that's low because your woman deserves respect from you. And honestly, I see this more with women. When they're constantly talking about their relationship to friends or family, it usually ends up in the trash. You never really know someone else's true intentions. Not everyone in your circle wants the best for you. In this guy's case, if everyone was warning him after the fact, it's because she's not right for him. So later on, don't say there were no red flags.
I just think it's like mad that people that you went to high school with, you see it on social media, are married. Like, I know I've got kids and I know I've got like my house and a dog and a cat and all that shit. Like, do you not think it's mad? People I went to school with are all getting married. Like, loads of them are engaged, right? And I'm here. I might have kids, right? Even though I'm surviving, not thriving, and I'm winging it day by day. Anywho, I'm here fighting for my life on dating apps. Dating apps. There is nobody that speaks to me in person at the gym. I have no social interaction in person with any sort of male. I am fighting for my life on these dating apps, right? And on a good occasion, a random good one pops up and then something blows in the wind and it all fucking goes tits up. They're engaged and they are married. That is mind-blowing to me. And I can't even get a fucking date. The audacity. Fucking audacity.
Truly nothing annoys me more than a man seeing me carry all of this equipment, walk by and say, got your hands full, don't you? Shut the
Okay, what exactly was so annoying about the situation that it demanded that a person stop everything that they were doing and make a video about it? Was it the fact that the guy said something sarcastic in regards to how much crap a person was carrying in one load? Or was it the fact that the guy didn't stop to offer to help? Because if it's the former, do bear in mind that oftentimes it is difficult for any person not to point out when another person is doing something rather silly. And if it's the latter, well, do bear in mind as well that women have been telling men for years that they don't need their help. Equality, after all. A woman can do everything that a man can do. And a lot of women have been telling men they don't need them at all. So it's no surprise that he didn't stop to help if that was the problem. But no matter what the issue is, it's always nice when someone can take time out of their day just to make a video about how annoyed they were at a situation.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Men not knowing anything about their friends in that video that's going around and going viral right now, I think is like the exact epitome of why women like myself are starting to wake up to like the propaganda of marriage and like long-term partnership. I'm somebody who's had a lot of long-term serious relationships, unfortunately only with men because I am very unfortunately straight. And I can tell you that I've never had a romantic partner who could match the depth of a good female friend in terms of like the emotional like depth and vulnerability and just like care and being there that I have with my friendships. I think now as somebody who is in my late 30s and who is not found my like forever partner, I'm sort of like I don't even know if I want one. Like I think I was just programmed to think that I want one because, you know, that's what society says is like a marker of success. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I would rather go through life with my female friendships as like my core people and then just like have men for fun, like whatever Cher said. You don't know the video I'm talking about. This guy talked to his close friends and asked them questions, and they couldn't name anything about them. They had no idea his like ex-girlfriend's name. They had no idea that he had moved out of his apartment, I think left the city because he was so heartbroken. No idea he went through a hard time. And like that's insane to me. Like I do genuinely feel bad for men that the society is like let them down too like this to an extent. But then you also see all of these like articles coming out that like the happiest women who live the longest are single. The happiest men who live the longest are married. And it's because women are doing the emotional labor. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a point to this once again, but I just think this is like why women like me and some others I've heard of are like kind of awakening to the idea of like maybe a partnership doesn't actually benefit women because very few people, and there's exceptions, but most friends that I know who are in like partnerships, even if they're married to like a wonderful, loving man, they're still not reaching that emotional depth that like they can get from their friends. Like I see seen and validated by every close friend who's a woman in my life. And I don't know if I've ever gotten that from a romantic relationship from a man. So I guess the moral of this is just, it's okay if you feel that way. And women should just continue to, you know, like hold space for each other. And hopefully men can learn how to do the same.
Women are getting a taste of their own medicine. Men today are simply applying everything they asked for. They wanted to be left alone. They complained about good manners and male courtesy. And now that they've been given all the rights they loudly demanded, they're being treated as equals, and they're mad about it. We're applying this to dating too, because men aren't interested in going out anymore, especially not with single moms. And about that last type of woman, brothers, women only say they don't care about marriage when they're not in a relationship. The moment they're with a man, they're the first to push for something serious, to lock down a financial retirement plan with a ring that secures your assets. And by the way, men aren't the only emotional ones like your girlfriends say. If you're into another man, fine, but a man shouldn't be your best friend. He should be your man, the one who provides, leads, and makes sure nothing happens to you. Because when danger shows up, he's not going to sit there and talk about it. So stop feminizing men. The life of a man and the life of a woman will never be the same.
I think one issue with modern dating that I haven't seen a lot of women talk about is the number of women who are disproportionately more educated than men. Between the ages of 25 and 34, women outnumber men in bachelor's degrees by 10%. The gender gap is really only getting worse. Like, for example, right now, the percentage of women who are enrolled in undergraduate universities across America is 20% more than the number of men who are. I think this gap in education becomes very apparent in dating because you don't really want to text somebody who's constantly speaking with grammatical errors, who can't keep up with you intellectually, who's not good at like communicating their thoughts and like putting them into words and really concisely, effectively communicating them to you. For the first time in American history, the average woman is more well educated than the average man. And I think that's why we have issues like the male loneliness epidemic. A lot of women choosing to be single voluntarily because they've poured energy into other hobbies and other academic efforts or things that are more mentally stimulating.
It's always so weird to me when conservative men go after liberal women. It's like a patriarchal, misogynistic problem.
Yes, totally agree with this creator. I think that is a large part of it, but I've also spoken with conservative men about this frustration before, and there's a large part of it that's far more embarrassing than you think. Before we dive in, as always, make sure you like, comment, repost, and follow along for more. But the reason conservative men pursue liberal women and avoid conservative women more often, and often to the point that they'll sometimes lie about it, is actually embarrassing. A long time ago, I had one friend who called himself a moderate. Obviously, we're not friends anymore because I think you can guess what all his friends were. So sometimes when I would like hang out at their house and whatnot, his roommates, his friends, whatever, would just be around. And we would have to be amicable and we'd hang out. And one thing we used to do is we would project our dating apps up onto the TV and scroll through each other's just as a form of entertainment and talk about it. And we had some really interesting discussions. And I'll be honest, I learned a lot by doing this because one day I complained to them. I was like, it seems like every man on this app is on the right. Okay, what is going on and why do you always try and pursue us so hard to the point where sometimes you even lie about it? And these guys were usually pretty honest, but the first thing they said was, well, we have the same complaint. All the girls on our apps are on the left, so it's just kind of what we have to choose. And the very few that are on the right are slim pickings and they're not very attractive. They admitted they're not very attracted to their own kind. And the second and more embarrassing thing they admitted is that dating women on the right is very difficult. It is far easier to date a woman on the left, because they're way more relaxed and they expect much less of us. Which I wouldn't necessarily agree with, but I think once again, as always, they were focused just on the financial aspects and not like the emotional labor that women on the left would actually expect you to deliver if you dated properly. Now, obviously, I was like, oh, that's fascinating. They openly admit that they cannot reach the standards that they have set for themselves. They are walking hypocrites. They want to believe that men should be the head of the household, that men should do this, should provide, etc., etc. But then when the time finally comes to it, they cannot meet that. And they found that trying to is too exhausting. So they just want to go to church every Sunday, pretend that's the way it is, and then come home and never have to actually fulfill their end of the bargain. Whilst not changing their expectations or standards for the women they're dating on the left, right? They were still looking for like someone who wants to be a housewife, a stay-at-home mom, etc. But at the same time, knowing that they could not provide that lifestyle, so it literally just didn't make any sense. That being said, I still do agree with this previous creator that there is a large subsect that just want to like tame something they've deemed as wild and break a woman, because that is like peak patriarchal misogynistic tendencies.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
It's strange how some people think they're superior just because they have a college degree. Do you know how many women with useless degrees are drowning in debt, credit cards, and student loans alike? Do you know how many men without a college education now have great jobs, earn more than many graduates, and live better lives? What really matters is money. But you think you're better than that man because of your degree and $200,000 in debt. Big deal. The misandry from the second type of woman is real because, first of all, in today's economy, very few people can afford to keep a woman at home. Most men actually prefer that you work. And it's not that men lie. It's that they tell you what you want to hear. Most men know that if they're 100% honest, no woman falls in love. Women are into smooth talkers like Chad who say exactly what they want to hear in the moment. Second, with liberal women, everything revolves around politics. Back then, you could date someone without caring who they voted for, because voting was private. And finally, liberal women are the easiest of all, the ones most likely to mix races, the ones every guy knows he doesn't have to impress or try too hard with. Because even though she says even conservative men don't want to live by the rigidity of white male conservatism, and liberal women are willing to be more egalitarian and less demanding of the masculinity performance. This is all very good points. I grew up around conservative people, and the women's fathers will run a guy off if he doesn't meet standard. It is harder to meet and date because you have to join her family and be liked by everyone. It's hard work. The amount of conservative women I have come across on dating apps in my red state condemning liberal men is wild too. Interesting, I always assumed it was the challenge of breaking a wild horse type thing. I'm new to dating apps, and when I do get connected with someone, I get grilled immediately on my actual political beliefs. Now I know why. Conservative men want to F*** liberal women. They do not want to wife them up. Imagine being close to finishing your PhD and having guys who barely finished high school think they have a chance. I know you're talking about dating, but it's true and why it's hard to make friends as a male as you get older. Most guys have a high school mindset. It's just about sports or cars. This is the matriarchy y'all wanted. As a man, this is frustrating to hear. Granted, there is truth in what you say. I was never great at school, but I have other strengths. My strengths are valuable. I'm a provider, high earner, and emotionally stable. I make sound decisions effectively and efficiently. I can fix and repair systems that are flawed. I can lead. I see you value traditional education above all, and I respect that.
Guys, these are women that you should stay far away from. And I'm going to tell you this from my experience because I was each of these women in this lifetime until I healed myself. So number one is the woman that needs a lot of attention and validation. First off, this is the beat bopper. She can go around, she can talk to everyone, and she's going to want attention from everyone around, even if you're standing next to her, because she doesn't get full validation from you. She needs dopamine hits from the people around her, whether that's at a bar, at a party, wherever. She also does not feel fulfilled within herself, so she's going to look for those dopamine hits, and when you can no longer provide those for her, she will get bored and leave you.
Women want the bears, and we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. All right then, let's get back to the video.
Alright, so I re-downloaded Hinge a few weeks ago after almost a year of being off of the dating apps, thinking like, oh, maybe I'll see some new faces here, like it'll feel good again, and it'll motivate me to like put myself out there or get out there more. Tell me why it's the same faces that have been on for years. And I know, like, I've also been on for years, and I hate that, like, they probably think the same thing when they see my face, because I'm sure we're all seeing the same people. But, like, it's almost ridiculous. And at least change your damn pictures. Like, they are literally from, I could say, looks like 2010 with a digital camera, not even a phone. Like, do men not know how to take pictures or update? Well, we already know that they don't, but like, come on. Update the pictures, because that's certainly not what you look like right now. And also, like, I feel like the variety of people, like, this can't be it. Like, there has to be more people in New York and just like in general. Like, why is it always the same faces? This cannot be the only selection of single people in this city. And like, it's super frustrating to me. Like, I just felt even more defeated than I already do. And I swear these people have a contract with Hinge, and even the standouts are like disgusting. And like, I'm not saying it's only about looks, but like, it's a dating app, and like the things that I'm seeing are just like what is going on here? And I swear some of these people probably haven't seen the light of day in 10 years when they took their last picture that they posted on as their dating app profile pic. And one last thing, I've heard this a few times and I've seen it a few times, that like dating apps are like the clearance section of people, and that just makes me feel disgusting about myself and everyone on there too. And I know that's like an exaggeration, but it's almost not, because that's what it feels like, and basically I'm doomed.
So the most common thing that I hear from women in therapy is, I can't stop thinking about him. I've ended the relationship and I just can't move on. I'm thinking about them all the time, and I really feel like we could go back to how it was at one point in the relationship. Early on, it was great. It was working. We were connected. They made me feel loved. What happened? Why can't we get that back? And my answer to that as a therapist is that they just can't, because of their own attachment wounds. At the beginning of the relationship, they were not activated. It was not a secure dynamic in which they felt they were romantically involved. So they could give that person what they needed. They could show up emotionally. They could show up relationally. But once it had the label, once it started to feel like commitment, it activated that wound of, I can't be seen, I can't be loved or receive love without pulling away. And so women are left chasing something that they could never have back.
The big difference between men and women is that we think with our heads and they think with their hearts, and they want us to do the same. All these videos are full of, how does this make me feel? I feel defeated. I can't stop thinking about him. I need attention. The pictures are ugly. It's emotions 24/7. But life doesn't ask a man how he feels when he gets fired, when he can't pay rent, or when he has to work 14-hour days just to eat. The average man doesn't have the luxury of living in his feelings. If he breaks down crying on a street corner, no one's coming to save him. That's why it drives us crazy when we're expected to be therapists, teddy bears, and validation machines, while also being the rock when the real problems hit. You're emotional, and that makes you beautiful. That makes you a woman, fine. But don't try to turn a man into another version of your girlfriends. Because the day I become 100% sensitive and empathetic the way you want, that same day you'll lose respect for me and run off with the guy who actually has the balls to lead and protect. It's that simple. Keep your feelings, but don't ask me to live in them. The real world doesn't cut any slack for Care Bears.
Women.
Do you know what I want to know? Am I like the only female that is 29, single, doesn't like to go outside to meet anyone, for that matter of fact? Dates, the thought of being across a table with someone, just eating dinner and I don't know you, don't want to do that. So, literally it's just me, Dolly, but I just feel like, I just don't know, I just feel like literally I do not enjoy alcohol. I just like getting in my pyjamas and just sitting in and watching good TV. But I feel like I can't say that I'm going to have 10 cats, because I'm not. But I might have 10 dogs. But I don't even want to date anyway, because I feel like the dating scene is awful. But I just wanted to know, is there anyone similar to me that just is in my position at this age, no children, but just doesn't like to go outside?
What you're feeling is the wall breathing down your neck. Now, I gotta say, the cow ring was bad, but what this woman did to her lips is even worse. It looks like she's got two blobs stuck to her face, completely out of place. That's why she's not getting dates. I'm sure guys don't want to stare at that for an hour over dinner. Like the woman in the next video, who regrets long dates and now prefers just meeting for coffee.
Okay, so I used to very much be the type that was like, I would not go on a coffee date because it is so informal and I do not want to come across as being low effort. But a while ago, I went on a date and it was a dinner date and I was stuck on that date for 2.5 hours-ish. And I literally realized within the first 15 seconds that I did not vibe with this man. And it took so much of my energy to stay at that dinner date and like be present and like have a conversation with this person who was a complete stranger, and made me realize like, okay, maybe I really don't mind coffee dates, quick little dates. I ended up going on a smoothie date with somebody else a couple weeks later and it was so much better. And like, even that I was like hesitant because I'm like, oh, like I'm literally coming from the gym. And like, he's like, no, like, we'll just go grab a smoothie really quick after the gym. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that is so like low effort. Like, I don't want to do that. But then I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go on the smoothie date. And it was great. It literally was like 45 minutes. It allowed me to like catch a vibe for this guy to see if I wanted to go on another date with him. So I think I'm just going to be doing that moving forward because I don't want to waste my time and my energy on these really, really long dinner dates with people that I don't even know. And then I end up feeling like I'm trapped. I do think, however, if I meet somebody in person and we have like chemistry and we have good conversations, then I would want the first date to be like a nice actual dinner date. But if I'm meeting somebody on Hinge, I don't really like texting and messaging people a lot before we go on a date. Like I would rather just meet up with somebody because I can get attached real quick via text. And so I just want to meet up really quick. Let's see if there's a vibe before we actually go on a first date. And I just think this is going to be so much better. And it's also, I think, going to help me avoid dating fatigue because it's rough out here. I'd love to know your thoughts on coffee dates.
That's what happens when your standards are too high and you're just out for a free meal. Coffee dates are practical, simple, and to the point. And that's what a first date should be. Low pressure and a chance to get to know someone. But a dinner date? You gotta dress up, sit there for hours with someone you might not click with, waiting on the food, and hoping the date doesn't drag. And let's be real, neither the guy who took you to dinner nor the one who took you for coffee ended up with you. The only difference is that the coffee guy paid the right price, while the dinner guy overpaid for someone who's already thinking about the next date, and honestly, isn't worth the effort.
Women.
Day 3 of paying for Hinge, I'm already lowering my standards. I cannot find anybody that I want to date. A few parameters that I have set that I was not willing to change, but I decided just to see what would happen if I changed the parameters. And I did get a few more people because I actually ran out of people on day 1 and then again on day 2, which makes no sense because how are more people showing up if I ran out of people? My age range was 29 to 35 because I don't want to date someone younger than me. I'm 28, but I changed it to 28. I got about 50 more people to swipe through. Did send a few likes, even though I don't want to date someone younger than me. I think the biggest issue I'm facing with my standards is the height. Really only want to date someone that's 6'2" and above, and it's not about looks. I'm more attracted to taller people, but really it's about the fact that every time I've dated someone shorter than that, they have a problem with me wearing heels, and I just won't deal with that. I'm 5'7", and when I wear heels, I'm maybe 5'10", and a lot of guys have issues with that, and so I'd rather just not even deal with that and just look for people that will be taller than me in heels. Plus, I'm more attracted to tall people anyway. I did send 8 likes and I did get 1 match. He's not 100% my type, but we'll see if anything comes from it. It's just, I know what I want and I don't want to settle for less than what I want. I'm not just dating casually. I really want someone that I like and could potentially love.
Stop it. Get some help.
She's 28 and already the dating pool is dried up. Women can be so shallow. It's not about looks. I just want someone who's 6 feet tall, makes 6 figures, and has a six-pack. The infamous 666 from the apocalypse. Yeah, that's what I need. Now she can't find many of those, so she lowers the age filter, starts liking every Chad who's ignoring her. She still thinks she's a perfect 10 and wants to date every tall guy in America. 3 days into paying for the app, and she's already negotiating with herself. Brothers, the wall keeps collecting victims.
You cannot be asking the men that you're dating small things, okay? So if you want them to like pay for your nails and your hair and all of that, I don't start off with that. Like, I'm starting off with big things. First of all, like, you need to give me things. I need to see how like you operate. So how you like plan dates and whatnot. And then during the dates, I will say, I'll preface it like, hey, I just want to be direct. I don't want to waste your time and I don't want mine wasted. When I am with a man, like dating him or exclusively, I expect my bills to be taken care of. I expect my maintenance to be taken care of. You are seen with me and, you know, I do make you feel great. I do that. You can go and see other people. I can go and see other people. And so if I'm with a man, the man takes care of me. I just see it that way. That's the role that men have in my life when they're dating me. And if that works for you, then let me know. If not, then no. I'm just very direct, like very, very direct. These are my expectations. Can you meet them or can you not?
Brothers, the gold digger has been getting creative lately. Honestly, I sometimes wonder who these simps are that agree to go out under those conditions. Women really believe that kind of advice is good, but only a dude with way too much money and zero self-esteem goes for that. You gotta pay her bills, her upkeep, and be okay with her seeing other people. But honestly, it's cheaper to just pay a working girl, maintenance included. Today's gold digger has no shame. Brother, send those women straight to the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
I have this friend that says, I only date women that like me. At first I used to think, like, what does that even mean? Like, it's a man. You're a man. Like, you move to girls. How do you even know she likes you? Then I started really deep in it and I was like, it's so true. Like, I don't know about you lot, but me, as a woman, because I'm trying to find the perfect partner to live with and get married to and have kids with, I'm happy to not have, like, sparks flying the first time I've met this person, but to, like, give myself time to get to know them based on their, like, qualities and blah, blah, blah. But even I am deep in, like, when I do meet someone and I like them, the things that I rate highly or prioritize or blah, blah, kind of like shift about a little bit because I like you. So I'm not so like pernickety about the things that I feel like you need to have. Which one is right though? Should you like follow your heart and be like, oh my God, like, hee like this? Or should you be like, no, like you don't tick off the things I need? Question.
Women want the bears, and we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. All right then, let's get back to the video.
I hate when guys are like, I only lied to you because I didn't know how important you were gonna be to me. Like, I lied to you just in the beginning of us dating. Like, please, I just had to like keep up with the lie because I had already lied to you, but I didn't know how important you were gonna be to me. Like, please forgive me. What do you mean? Do you just walk around the earth and people have to earn you being truthful to them? Do you not naturally want to tell the truth? Do you look at my face? Do you look at my face and you think, I really want to lie about my social security number, where I grew up, what I ate for dinner tonight, and if I talked to my ex-girlfriend and the last person I had sex with? What? I'm supposed to just forgive you because you weren't sure if you wanted to spend forever with me when you first met me? No, you're a psycho.
First of all, this woman's friend is right. I go by the same rule. I only go out with women who are into me. That doesn't mean I can't win over a woman who wasn't attracted at first. But my goal is to date women who find me attractive. That whole fireworks thing, that's teenager stuff. As an adult, you look for the woman who's the best fit for your life. And if she's more in love with you than you are with her, even better. And then there's the second woman complaining that he lied in the beginning. Nobody needs to spill their life story on day one. A smart man gives out information in doses, only after he sees it's worth trusting her. Demanding full honesty from day one is just a fantasy from girls who watch too many shows. In real life, trust is earned, not given away for free.
Women under the age of 25, you need to listen to me right now, and I will try to keep this short. There is an organized effort happening right now to manipulate you into giving up your rights without a fight. You've probably seen a lot of being in your feminine content about princess treatment and passenger princess and letting men lead, and conforming to clean girl, old money, princess Pilates, trad wife values. It sounds like a utopia because it's supposed to. But when things sound too good to be true, they are. Because this is actually the womanosphere. The birth rate is dropping, men are becoming disruptive, and women are gaining power. So they're trying to stop that from happening by convincing you that success as a woman looks like staying at home, raising babies, and living the soft life. Because if you believe that that is winning, you won't fight to keep your rights, and once they're gone, it is so much harder to get them back. But the women who are selling you that idealized version of womanhood are not living it themselves. The trad wives making social media videos about making breakfast for their husbands are making a living from telling women that making a living as a woman makes you less than. They are securing their own independence by convincing other women to give up theirs. If something goes wrong in their relationship, they have the ability to walk away, but that is not what they are teaching. They are teaching you to put all of your trust in a man and just assume everything will work out, which statistics shows us is one of the single most dangerous things a woman can do on this planet. So do not fall for it. You know what's better than princess treatment? Being respected and adored like a queen, not controlled and owned like a princess.
So she tells women they've got two choices: be treated like a princess, a classy, well-kept girl with old money. I think she means fully supported, who has time for Pilates and stays home with the kids while her husband takes care of everything the traditional way. No worries, no stress. Then there's the second option: be respected and worshipped like a queen, like you, riding in an old beat-up car, with a tired face from doing whatever your boss tells you, forced to work every day because otherwise you'd be out on the street. No kids, no husband, no house, no Pilates. But hey, at least you've got a cat. And sure, you're not being controlled, because you've got no man, so that makes you an empowered queen, more alone than the sun at noon. Brothers, the choice has never been clearer: protected princess or queen of nothing. Let them decide when the cat doesn't pay the bills.
The reason men tend to think women's tears are a form of manipulation is because that's the only reason they are willing to cry. Now let that sink in.
Oh, I'm only going to change my last name so I have the same last name as my kids. Have you considered giving your kids your last name? Because that's what I'm going to do. But if the kids are coming out of me, they're getting my last name. And if my husband or whoever wants the whole family to have the same last name, he can change his to mine. Because I will not be doing that. I will not be changing my last name to anybody else's because I already have one. Why do I need a new one? And if you're thinking, Tori, what if your husband doesn't want that? He wouldn't be my husband. Simply, I would not be with somebody who would not be okay with that or also think in the same way. So, hope that helps.
Stop it. Get some help.
I've always said it. A woman only makes demands when the man is broke or has low self-esteem. Think about it. If he were a man with money, from an important family, with a legacy to protect and a last name that actually means something, I guarantee you she'd be the first one begging for her kids to carry that name. A last name is a family's legacy passed down through the father. There are men who have literally paid their grandchildren just to carry it so it lives on to the next generation. Taking that away from a man is basically telling him he brings nothing to the table. And then they wonder why marriage doesn't mean the same anymore.
When women say they don't like men that play video games, it rarely has anything to do with the video games themselves, and it has more to do with things like emotional availability and emotional maturity and time management. And a common frustration is when a guy is more invested in his screen than talking to his partner. Like if you're in the middle of having an emotional conversation and you're trying to connect, and then your partner is in the middle of a boss fight, it can be really hard to have that emotional conversation. And over time, this can make somebody feel invisible. And I think that that's what it really comes down to is like sometimes when guys care more about their video games, it makes women feel invisible in their relationship. Playing video games a lot can also be a sign of like emotional avoidance and avoiding conflict. So long story short, women don't hate men that game. In fact, I love gaming myself. I'm a woman that games. My fiance games. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with like balance and being there for each other and not letting it take control over your relationship. Women don't hate guys that game. They hate feeling like a lower priority and like their feelings don't matter as much as them in their game. Honestly, the life hack is just to be a couple that games together. That's the most fun. Get a co-op game, play split fiction, something.
Sorry, not to be a hater, but the male loneliness epidemic, who fucking cares?
Apparently a lot of people do, or else there wouldn't be so many individuals out there making videos telling everyone how much they don't care.
Oh, yo, what are you guys gonna do now? Pew pew up a bunch of schools? You already do that.
Yeah, very few people actually do that.
Oh, you gonna unalive your wife and kids? You already do that.
And again, they're talking about a very small percentage of the male population, but mentioning that wouldn't make a very good video, would it?
You're gonna terrorize nations? Already do it. Start a war? Did it.
I find it very convenient the fact that they left out all of those women rulers that actually started a multitude of wars. But I digress.
Destroyed economies? Did it. Destroyed democracies? Doing it now.
Wait, are they trying to imply that there's no women in positions of any power anywhere in the world that could influence those decisions? Okay.
We're not afraid. And now you guys are just lonely and we're still not afraid. So, sorry. Male loneliness epidemic, get the fuck out of here.
It's very popular right now to be a misandrist. And if a person was wanting to jump on that particular bandwagon, remember, all a person really needs to do is make a bunch of disparaging statements generalizing an entire demographic with no regard at all for the fact that most men actually happen to be good people that are guilty of none of the things mentioned.
There's a growing wave of misandrist women. To them, everything is men's fault. These are single women who truly believe a man adds zero value to their lives, while it's men who keep the economy running and make the world keep spinning for them. Everything bothers them. Take the gamer guy's girlfriend. She's got a man at home who, in his free time, plays video games. That bothers her. But if he were out drinking or hanging with friends, that would bother her too. A man needs his space, and the woman who respects that is the one who has long-lasting marriages.
I can't be the only one who feels this way about dating. I feel like more and more people are settling for being chosen. Now, let me elaborate on what I mean. I feel like the dating landscape, especially in London, is so bleak that people are willing to forgo the bare minimum just to be chosen. So that means that they will go with the partner that is not going to listen to them, that is maybe going to disrespect their boundaries, that maybe doesn't even want to talk to them during the day, just because it feels safer to be chosen than it does to remain single. And I just think it perpetuates this bad behavior in the dating space. Does anyone else feel this way? Let me know your thoughts.
Women want the bears, And we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. Alright then, let's get back to the video.
On the topic of the patriarchy, I can't stop thinking about this. Western religion has millions of people devoting their entire lives to a man, an omniscient being in the sky that claims, via anecdotal text, to have created life and created the world as we know it, when in real life, every day, women are creating eyeballs from scratch, brain stems, human beings. We are creating human beings with our bodies, and men still would prefer to worship a god, a male god, because he claims to have created life. We have no evidence that God created life, and yet women are not worshipped simply because we are women. I'm so done. I'm so done.
I'm also fed up with all the nonsense I have to hear. But here's the thing. We have to put these crazy ideas out into the world to show exactly what's wrong with these women. Now tell me something. The Virgin Mary and all the other virgins celebrated in the Catholic Church, aren't those women people literally pray to? Man, honestly, I don't know what these women have in their heads.
These are some of my controversial non-negotiables when it comes to dating. And a lot of you are going to hear these and be like, well, the reason you're still single is because you're really picky. You know, I'd have to agree, but I think I should be picky when it comes to choosing somebody that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Start off with, and this one's honestly kind of random, but no video games. I don't want a man that plays video games. I do not want to have a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, a console, whatever. I don't know why this is something that's such a big deal to me, but I hate video games with a passion. I just get really, really triggered when I see a girl on my For You page that's just like, oh, like, it makes me really sad when I, you know, spend time with my boyfriend. He's just on the game with the boys. It's just something that I genuinely would really hate. And if you're like, oh, like, you can't force a guy to stop playing video games, that's not fair to him, 100% agree. I would never force someone to stop doing something that they like. If I find out that that's something that they really enjoy doing, then I'm just gonna stop seeing them. I don't think this one's crazy, but I don't want a guy that excessively uses any type of substance. And smoking or drinking here and there, totally fine, but like, what, you don't need to do it every week, you know? Also 100% applies to me. I rarely ever drink. I never really smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't vape or anything. So I don't want a man that does either. Emotional intelligence is definitely a non-negotiable for me. I completely understand that emotional intelligence is a learned skill, but I am not here to teach you how to be empathetic. I will just never forget this time when I was seeing a guy and he had just trauma dumped on me, and I spent an hour consoling him and, you know, being supportive for him. And then I was talking about how my mom was like suffering and low-key on her deathbed, and I wasn't overly emotional. I was just like, yeah, like, she's not doing well, like, she's not gonna make it. He just looks at me and was just like, damn, that really sucks. And then immediately switched to talking about something else. Are we being for real right now? That's insane. I'm just not gonna sit there to teach a man basic empathy. I'll only date guys that are entrepreneurs or don't have a traditional career path. I feel like that's gonna get a lot of people heated, but it's honestly like, sure, part of it is like the money, but it's less about the money and just more about the characteristics that come along with a guy that is an entrepreneur. I need a guy that is disciplined and ambitious and motivated and has a lot of drive. I also like the flexibility that comes along with being self-employed. He has to be fit and in the gym. I work out, well, I'm doing 75 hard right now, so I actually work out every day. But normally I work out 5 times a week. I didn't realize this was a deal breaker or non-negotiable for me until I went out with a guy that didn't consistently work out. It really bothered me. Like, I hated it so much. I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that he didn't work out, and so yeah, now it's a non-negotiable. Also, being 6 foot is a non-negotiable. That's pretty much my only physical requirement. And I know I'm gonna catch a lot of heat for that, but I don't really care. I'm on the taller side. I'm like 5'8". I don't want to be eye level with my man. I went out with a guy that was 5'10" once, and all I could think about was the fact that I felt like I could pick him up and put him in my pocket. I don't know, it's just like, if his height starts at the 5, that's a friend. Not gonna lie, I have a very long list of non-negotiables, as I should, but the last one I'll share for now, which I think this is kind of a non-negotiable for a lot of people, but I just don't want a man that has a girl best friend. I don't have a guy best friend. I don't care if he has girlfriends, because I have guy friends, that's fine, but a girl best friend, I'm just not gonna do that. It's not even necessarily an insecurity thing. It's just like, I've seen way too many times that they end up cheating with that girl. I'm not putting up with that. In the same way that I would never have a guy best friend when dating a guy. But yeah, let me know if you want a part 2, because this video was getting a little too long.
All she was missing was demanding he make 6 figures. Seriously, how delusional are these women's standards? And I can guarantee you the guys she's dated in the past don't even meet half of what she's asking for. The other thing is they think they have the right to demand all this from a man just because they showed up, because they don't offer anything beyond their presence. Where's the part where they say what they bring to the table? Where's the "I want a man like this because I bring this"? That's exactly why they're single and will stay single. Keep chasing that fairy tale prince.
Women.
Guys, I went on maybe one of the best first dates I have been on in recent years, but maybe ever this weekend. Okay, here's the story. We met on Hinge and we instantly clicked. I mean, it was just immediate banter, immediate conversation. We got deep, we got surface level. We were just really vibing and we weren't messaging for that long. It was probably just a few hours. Eventually he asks me to coffee. I say yes. He sets it up. He asks, what day are you free? What time? Da-da-da. And your girl's excited. Okay, I don't match with a lot of people very often, but this person totally just struck me. I found him very attractive. I liked his prompts. And again, our conversation flowed so quickly, so easily. So I show up to the coffee shop and he shows up right after me and he walks in and I'm just taken aback. I'm taken aback by his beauty. He is just as gorgeous as his photos, if not even more in person. We meet, we hug, instantly we hit it off. It was like that perfect back and forth energy from the chat just translated perfectly into real life. I mean, we literally vibed basically the second we started talking. We get our coffees and we find one table that's available that's nestled right in the corner of the cafe, away from everyone else, like we're in our own little planet. And we talked and talked and talked. We spanned superficial subjects like favorite movies, music, to deep subjects like trauma and our last relationships. And he was the one actually asking me all of the deep questions, and typically it's me. The eye contact was unparalleled. You guys, he was like staring into my fucking soul. And there wasn't a phone in sight. Literally completely undistracted, talking the entire time. After 2 hours, I'm like, I gotta pee. So I get up, I go to the bathroom, I get out of the bathroom, I come back, and this motherfucker ordered another coffee. He was like, I got another drink. I wasn't sure if you wanted something. Do you want me to get you another drink? I was like, excuse me? I literally thought after I was done peeing, we would wrap it up and go home, but this motherfucker was not done yet. He was locked in, ready for round 2. So I was like, sure, yeah, I'll take another tea. So he goes and gets me my tea, comes back to the table, we sit down, and we are literally there for 2.5 more hours. Our entire date was 4.5 hours. You guys, we were sitting across from each other with no distractions, no phones, completely locked in, talking the entire time in riveting conversation for 4.5 hours in the corner of this little coffee shop. It was out of a fucking movie. It was literally rom-com coded. And at one point we were both crying from laughter, literally tears streaming down our face from laughing so hard from something that we were fucking talking about. So finally at the end of the day, we're like, holy shit, it's been 4.5 hours. So when we realized the time and started wrapping up the date, it was so sweet. He was like, so if you're interested, I would love to see you again. And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. I would love to see you again. So he took my number because we were just previously messaging on the app. So we walked out of the coffee shop, we hugged goodbye, and that was it. After I had been in my car for all of 2 minutes, I got a text from him, and it was because he turned on his car and a song that we were talking about was playing, and so he made a joke about it, and I made a joke back, and then that was it for that interaction. So we went out on Saturday, and it's now Monday. In my book, proper date etiquette is to follow up the next day and say, hey, I had a really great time. Let's set up that second date. But I have not heard from this motherfucker. I told him on the date, I like to be pursued. I like men to lead. I want you to put in the effort. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm available for right now. So I made it clear. So at this point, I haven't heard from him in over a day, and I've decided that I'm gonna give it a solid 48-hour window of time. And if I do not hear from him by the end of today, this man has disqualified himself. My husband is not making me wait. There is no lag time with my husband. Okay, I'm giving him a little bit of runway, right? 2 solid days, 48 hours to reach out. But my husband is really fucking excited to lock down that second date. My husband wants me to know for sure that he is interested and he is pursuing me. So yes, I had a wonderful fucking date with this man, and I would love to see him again. And we did have great connection and great chemistry, but the date doesn't really fucking matter. What matters is what happens after the date. Consistency, effort, showing your interest. This is what I'm interested in. So we'll see. The clock is turning. He has till fucking midnight. I'll keep you guys posted.
First of all, why was this date successful? Because it was at a coffee shop. This woman didn't fall for the modern narrative that demonizes a coffee date, calling it low effort. She showed up, talked, got to know him. That's exactly what a first date is for. The guy took the lead in the conversation, asked questions, which I recommend, was fun, and paid the bill, which I also recommend. To me, this man nailed the date. Of course, this only works when you're out with the right woman, one who's open to getting to know you and is genuinely interested. I hope this guy doesn't let the opportunity slip away, because he's already got the path cleared for a killer second date. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, these questions are for you. Do you think these women actually want a partner, or just validation? Why are modern women obsessed with male loneliness? If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to make more content. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Wall.